another piece of the course is, Jesus, he says that it's never someone else's problem.
It's always here. Yeah.
It's always here. It's always a me problem.
Hmm.
Whatever I see, it's always what I'm believing or what I'm thinking or what I'm holding on to. Her intention in naming me Christina Renee was, it means to her Christ is risen. And
Wow.
it was that connection also throughout. It was something I just felt so proud of when she would tell me that.
Hmm.
And so, I mean, there's no mistakes, right? Like I've heard from pre-birth memory people that we actually pick our own name. I don't know, but that played a huge part in not rejecting Jesus when I was young. Because I rejected the entire Catholic religion,
Yeah.
but I didn't reject Jesus.
Yes.
It was Christ, the Christ consciousness, that Christ energy
Right.
that somehow kept guiding me.
Hmm. And supported you. You knew that, right? That part of you knew. That's amazing.
Uh-huh.
Have you, this is out of left field, but
Yeah.
have you seen the photo from the chronovisor that apparently that the Vatican has been hiding of Jesus, supposedly of Jesus and Joseph of Arimathea and his brother perhaps standing behind him? Have you seen that photo?
No, I
Oh,
haven't.
do you know what a chronovisor is?
I don't.
Oh, okay, so it's a time travel machine that the
Oh,
Vatican was using, and
yeah.
there's a whole lot of information on it out there. And apparently, when this priest was working with it, they were able to watch the crucifixion and before, and they were able to watch different uh, history that was a big deal, right?
Yeah.
And so there's one photo that was apparently leaked, I guess. I don't know. Maybe I
Hmm.
should pull it up of Christ. I was wondering what you felt about it. Are you
Yeah.
okay pulling it up? Okay.
I would love to see it. Yeah.
All right. So here it is. So this is apparently Yeshua, Jesus, right here. And this is
Uh-huh.
according to the story. This is Joseph of Arimathea, who, if um, anyone had read Grandmother or Anna, Grandmother of Jesus, that's channeled material that she talks about them being very, very close. And
Yeah.
this apparently is his younger brother James, but I haven't seen anything that says who this person is.
Hmm.
But we may be looking at a photograph of Jesus,
Yeah.
the man who walked the planet that we know as Yeshua. What do you feel, Christina? What do you feel?
When I first saw it, it just felt, my eyes went straight to him. Like I just zoned in and it just felt like, yeah, yeah, that's him. And honestly, it feels like, and I haven't had experiences like you've had, but
But
it
you've
feels like
had
I
your
know
own
him.
amazing experiences. So,
Yeah, it
yeah.
just feels like I know him.
Yeah.
Like,
Hmm.
yeah, yeah,
I believe that we've walked the planet with him
yeah.
at that
I kind
time.
of sometimes have that thought too.
Hmm.
Um, I haven't done like a lot of past life stuff. I just know one of my past lives, but I did just interview a man named John Davis. I don't know if you have interviewed him or if you've heard of
Yes.
him, but
Not, I haven't interviewed him, but I saw him on Jeff Maher or somebody or Alex's show. Yeah.
yeah, so he remembers his past life as John the Apostle.
Right.
And
Yeah.
when I was in connection with him, like with you, like I there's a resonance to the energy.
Right.
I don't know what else to say beyond
I have
that.
goosebumps right now.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just so beautiful. Like
isn't it?
it's my like I don't know how to express this, but it's like I just have this like overwhelming desire right now to just bring all the teachings to the world. Like all of it, like just yeah, the love and who we are and just
Right,
mesmerized by him.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I hear you. And what I've in working with him, what I've felt very strongly and understand in conversations with him, that his teachings were meant for today and for these times. And we agreed, those of us that walked with him back then, that we agreed to come back, and because we're coming back, right, to
Uh-huh.
bring the Christ consciousness in. And that's the second coming. And so we're walking with him that way. He walks with us in that
Hmm.
way. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. Yeah. I agree. I mean, I haven't there's been times where I've had those thoughts, like
Sure.
I I do the course daily. I do the daily lessons and throughout the day, I'll even just start talking to Jesus in my car
Sure.
with my kids. And the connection I feel, the truth is, when I was a kid, there was this picture my mom had that was totally creepy. It's still in her house. It doesn't creep me out as much anymore, but it used to because his eyes would follow me and I had all this like fear, but even in the fear, I turned to him, and that alone was like, why would I do that? Like I rejected all of Catholicism, like
Yeah.
for real. So that was interesting to me, but um just like when I open the way of mastery, like it always starts with like, we are among you, beloved friends. Like
Yes.
there
Yes.
is no separation. There is nothing that we can't. Oh, I'm getting goosebumps now. There's nothing that we can't achieve that that he has. Like, and he teaches us what he did. Like how he did the work to, really just unravel these, layers of whatever. And it's just that I think was so healing for me because when I was a kid, it was like he was perfect. I had to be like him, but I could never be like him because he was the son of God. And like I'm not, or I don't know, you know.
I hear
And
you.
so there was
Yes.
always this like him on a pedestal, and there still is. I'm not gonna lie, that still exists in me today, but it's coming closer to, he's not on a pedestal. Like we are all one with Jesus. He is
Right.
with us.
Yeah, that's exactly what the words I use, is that he was up, the church put him on this pedestal, and where we couldn't reach him, not just him, but the saints and everything. And we'd have to go through
Right.
them. We'd have to go through
Yes.
the priests and the nuns, and who were mean, and when I went
Hmm.
to school, and
Yeah.
in order to even talk to God or talk to them,
Hmm.
and I'm like, this just doesn't make any sense. Nothing against Catholicism, that for because there's a lot of beautiful, humble, heartfelt Catholics. Okay.
Hmm.
But those teachings, which I believe are meant to control us,
Yeah.
yeah, just are
Yeah.
going by the wayside.
Yeah. Yeah. I was afraid.
That
I
those
was
aren't
afraid.
those, yeah, those aren't his teachings. Those aren't his teachings. I'm like, really? Come on.
No, I know. And then when I interview you and others who have experienced his presence on the other side, it's like you said, there's nothing you could think or do or say or be that he would not accept with open, loving arms.
And
Like,
still love you. Yes. Still
yeah,
love you. Yeah.
yeah,
Nothing could take that love away. Yeah.
right.
I understood. I was thinking yesterday, I believe it was yesterday, I was thinking, I understand now why people would say that Jesus is God, the Son of God kind of thing, because
Mhm.
he was able to show us, ooh, and I'm getting teary-eyed saying this. Ooh, he was able to show us that you can reach
Yeah.
the God's that ultimate of bringing God through the expression of God, fully expressing God. I've got
Yeah.
goosebumps of fully expressing God. He was able to show us that walking in the body on the planet. That's
Mhm.
why they used that, and it was twisted, because we are all expressions of God. We just have stuff that still gets in the way. Whereas he
Mhm.
was able to work through that and bring that full expression of God through his body when he walked the planet, because he had to do a lot of work too,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
He was like a yogi, wasn't he? Like he went off and did a bunch
Yeah.
of work and
He traveled the world learning all different types of faiths and modalities of how to clear. Yeah.
yeah.
And and so that makes, now I understand it. It's not that he is the only one who's the son of God type of
Hmm.
deal. All of
Yeah.
us are.
I
We
love
just
that
have
you
step in the
brought
way.
that in because the Holy Trinity for me was very confusing. And again, I did not pay attention when I was in church. I did not pay attention in catechism. So it's not really like
Either.
have anything to go from, but it always confused me. Like, how could there be three? What? Like the Holy Trinity? And it was the course in the way of mastery that helped me understand it. And we used to always bless ourselves, right? The Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. So, like the Father, it's our mind.
Mm,
Like
mm,
it's
right.
all seen here. The Father, the
Right.
Son is us, our hearts. And Jesus was that too. We are with him.
Yes.
And then the Holy Spirit goes between because we are so far away. We're not, but we've created so much interference
Right. Interference.
that
Yes. Yeah.
it's harder to connect directly to God. So then we go through the Holy Spirit. So I talk to the Holy Spirit all the time now and Jesus, and I'm always praying to both of them. And like before I found, these things, like to me it was just all bullshit. And I'm not like, that's just how I thought it. It wasn't like, that's not how I think it now. Obviously I'm like, yes, I'll bless myself all the time now, but like I would just like, it doesn't make sense. It
Yeah.
just never made sense. It just never resonated. I always asked, like I would just ask, like why would God send anyone to hell? Why would he even create hell? If he's the creator, why would he do that? And like if he loves everybody, why would he do that? Through these workings to actually just get, the teachings of Jesus from Jesus, not interpreted, was like, oh, I've always said probably since I overdosed, it was that summer, Jesus is my hero and I am not a Christian. And people think I am. And I get attacked a lot for talking about Jesus on social media.
Oh,
I get
well,
rebuked. I
yeah.
get rebuked in the name of Jesus.
I
And I
get.
sit there and I think, I actually don't think he would rebuke me.
I've heard it too.
I know he
Yeah.
wouldn't, but okay.
That's okay. That's your deal. Yep.
Yeah. So all this confusion, all this, yeah, confusion. It was just confusing. None of it made sense. It didn't resonate. I didn't know that there were things that resonated or not, right? I just thought I was weird. Like there was something wrong with me because this is the truth and it doesn't feel right to me. So I thought it was me. But all of these workings just like, yeah, opened my eyes. Opened my eyes to the truth that I've always known, that I
Mhm.
didn't know I always knew, but
Yeah.
now I do.
Yes. Did you go through that? I'm sure you did, because we all do go through that stage, or that healing stage of not feeling worthy of God's love, of Yeshua's love. And we
Yeah.
probably all are dealing with that, since we all are
I
one.
would say there's some of it still alive in me right now. I mean, I feel like it runs really, really deep.
Yeah.
really deep for a lot of people. And in fact, just like last week, things have been going so well for me in my life. And I mean, just if you go
Good.
to the
You
beginning
deserve
of
it.
this podcast, you know it wasn't going well for a while until I was 34. And I I I was like, wow, because I've been talking to Jesus. I've been, praying to the Holy Spirit. I've been asking for God's will for me. I've been asking him. I've not actually been focusing on what I need to do. I've literally been asking Jesus, what miracles do you want me to perform today? Who can I love today? Guide me from that space. And so all these things are just like, it's like magic. I'm not kidding. The past few weeks have been like magic in my life. And I was driving home from dropping my kids off at school on Friday. And I just was like, I noticed this feeling and I was like, what is this feeling? Everything's going so good for you. Everything. Why are you feeling this way? And I realized, oh, there's a little layer of something bad's going to happen now because I don't deserve to have it this easy or to have it this good or whatever. It was a little layer of I didn't believe I was worthy. And I think those are going to continue to come up.
Right. Yeah, well, good for you for recognizing that, because if we don't, and Yeshua tells me awareness is always the key, that
Mhm.
awareness is what helps get through it and transmute it, right?
Yeah. And I think because whether you're raised in Christianity or Catholicism or you're not, there is this common message that God's going to judge you when you die.
Yeah.
So, like, I think we're just gonna have that.
Look at that. Look how twisted that is. Okay.
Right.
So we are God expressing through our bodies. We are God aspects. We're fractals
Yeah.
of God
Right.
expressing, having physical expression experiences all over the place.
Yeah.
And when we do, and you've probably heard enough NDEers or people that talk about having a life review where
Yes.
we judge ourselves.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have our life review. We're judging ourselves since we are aspects of God. This is God judging us because we are. We
So
are
it's
aspects of
true.
God
God will judge us, but it's true because we are God.
because
Yes.
we are God. But it got so
But when we're
twisted.
born, we don't know that.
I
Yeah.
know. We have to find that out on our own.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and then also the punishment, this idea that there is hell and heaven.
Mm-hmm.
So my whole life was afraid of being judged negatively,
Mm-hmm.
pretty much.
Yeah. Yeah.
Everything I did was to not be judged negatively.
Sure. There's a lot of people. I do spirit rescue work, and there's a lot of personalities, aspects, people, ghosts, basically, in
Mhm.
the I don't know, Buddhists may call it bardo, Catholics call it purgatory, stuck on the earth plane, the ghost area, that
Mhm.
are still there and afraid, and are afraid to do anything but stay in their loop of a life because they're
Yeah.
so afraid of being judged.
Yeah.
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 I come across that a lot for
Mhm.
religious reasons.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate.
And I know. We're all meant just to express ourselves
Right.
as we are. And I'm gonna, say that I made a little TikTok series
Oh, cool.
and I showed it to my daughter, and she's like, I'd redo it. So I didn't post it. So I
She
still
told you you
have that.
needed to redo it. I'm sorry I interrupted
My
you.
daughter.
She told you you needed to redo it. Okay.
She didn't say I needed to. She said, yeah, it's good, but maybe redo it. And that was enough for me to be like, I'm
There
not
you go.
posting this.
From the mouths of babes. Well, when
But I
you're
mean, I didn't want to
14,
be judged negatively. So
yeah.
I said, you know what? I really don't need to post that series. Like,
My
I'm
14-year-old
gonna
knows
have
what
to
she's
post
talking
it
about.
now because this is the second time I've talked about that experience.
You have to.
I will.
Well, ask her how she would change it.
Yeah, I'll ask her, what should I
A
redo?
collaboration. There you go, a collaboration.
Yeah,
That's funny. I can see a 14-year-old saying that, especially of her mom's work.
right.
If it was someone else's, she may have said, "Oh, that's great." But since it's
Yeah.
her mom,
Well, I mean, I've kind of, I'm a one-man show over here, so I've kind of employed her as my social media manager. Let's bring this into TikTok here. That is the place where I get the most hate
oh, I believe it.
when I
That's why
talk
I'm
about
not on
you.
TikTok.
Yeah,
Yeah. I've heard
it's
people say that.
and I like just kind of sit in awe. I mean, I'm really sensitive, so there are times where it really does hurt me,
Mhm.
or I can feel, like some pain impact that is like a sting.
Yeah.
Um, but once that like fades or moves through me, I just sit there and I think, what, where did they learn the teachings of Jesus? Because nothing I feel would is Jesus would never tell me to go tell people to like change what they're doing.
Right.
Like,
Exactly. Yeah.
and be mean about it in the process.
Yeah.
So then I ask for help, and sometimes I can extend them love, and sometimes I can't.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah, I
Right.
understand that's a tough one. And when I first started talking publicly about my experiences, I had to deal with that too. Even before that, with the work I was doing and am doing, but to go public with experiences that are, beyond the ordinary, I guess you could say, sometimes way beyond. Um, I see comments because I read the comments, and
Mhm.
and someone might have a question or something, and I want to make sure that I'm there. But they do sting, definitely.
Yes.
They do sting. And then I realize, okay, you know what? That's where they're at. I'm
Yeah.
not asking anybody to believe me. I'm just sharing, and that's where they're at.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
and that's where they're at. And
Hmm.
then I rely on, and I know that and there's been comments about Yeshua too. Oh, well, she's hallucinating. That wasn't Jesus, Oh,
Yeah.
she's, blah, 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 that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't matter what you think about it. What it matters is our experiences, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because that's what matters to us. And I'm just sharing, like you're just sharing.
Yeah.
And if it resonates with someone and helps someone in any way, even one
Hmm.
person,
Yeah.
then our job is done.
Yeah. Well, and I learned in so many different places, but particularly in AA, listen for the similarities, take what you like
Yeah.
and leave the
leave
rest.
leave the rest.
Like, don't
Mhm.
even focus on what doesn't feel good to you.
Right.
And, I do, when I do get these comments, right? It stings. But then it's like I go back to the course and it's like, okay, because I can see I want to spit out attacking thoughts right back on them.
Yes.
Like,
Yeah.
well, I have the course, so I know it's true. And so then I'm like, oh wow, here it is, right? Here's an opportunity for me to
Right.
not choose an attacking thought, to heal my mind, to correct my vision, to be returned back to that place of truth. And the truth is that that person is me, I am them, we're mirrors for each other,
Right.
we're just seeing what we haven't integrated for ourselves,
That's what I was
that
just
we
gonna
haven't
say.
loved yet.
See, we're getting the
And
same
so,
thing. I was just gonna say that. Yeah.
and I made a TikTok about that because I was like, let's talk about these trolls, and I was like, you know what, they're a gift to me because That's really right. Everything's happening for us. Now, can I be in a slowed down enough space? Like, am I, I used to have my daughter check the comments before I went and looked to see how intense they were, right? But it's like I now make that conscious choice. Like, am I going to look at the comments?
Right.
Let's see. Where am I?
Yeah.
Am I connected to myself and to God, or am I in an ego state of mind? Like, where am I? Do I have capacity to look at them and see them as a gift for me? Because really, they just are. They're
They
just a gift.
are. They are a gift. I mean, one thing that Yeshua helped me with too is when I would see something that was really bothering me, a situation or comment or whatever it
Mm,
was, something that we would consider negative and was and hurt us, seeing how things are, some things, situations in the world, that would really hurt your heart. I said, how do
yes.
you handle this? What would you do? How do you handle how, please help me. How do I
Yeah.
handle this? And he said what he would when he walked the planet, right? Um, he just let it flow through him. He says you can be aware of it and you can do what you can to help and be of service that way, but you have to let it flow through. You can't let it stick to you because that's what, whew, wow, that's
Hmm.
what lowers our vibration and keeps us in a dense reality. Okay. And then if you know Ho'oponopono, then
Yeah.
we got to work to, as soon as we bring it in, okay, that means that we are part of that reality.
Yes.
And we are co-creating everything. We're co-creating everything in our awareness. We're co-creating. So then we got to Ho'oponopono it. So
Yeah.
that really helped me a lot.
Yeah. Another piece of the course is Jesus, he says that it's never someone else's problem.
It's always here. Yeah.
It's always here. It's always a me problem.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever I see, it's always what I'm believing or what I'm thinking or what I'm holding on to. And I love that. Let it flow through you, because
Yeah.
that's the other stuff I teach is how to feel, because I've had to.
Right.
I have no vices, right? So even that was perfectly orchestrated. God, Jesus, God made me an addict. I chose to be an addict, whatever, right? That was my experience in this world.
Mm-hmm.
And I went to the very low bottom
Mm-hmm.
of suffering and pain to not have a choice, to grab a vice, to numb. I
Yeah.
have to feel. I have
Right.
to.
Right.
And so feelings are just emotions and energy. And that's what I teach. Just let it flow through. It takes some last longer, but on average, it's 90 seconds for a feeling to move through.
Mm.
And that's all it is.
Mm-hmm.
Easier said than done, because our minds do get weird, but
Right. Right. It
we want to
is.
label, we want to be right.
We want, yes, we want to be that social justice person kind of thing, and which
Yeah.
is fine. But I also realized that and this was about, see, I've been here about 18 years ago when I first read Asking It Is Given, because I
Mhm.
thought I had to save the world, right?
Yeah.
And in the first chapter in there, Abraham says, it's not your job to save the world. I felt this huge
Yeah.
weight lifted off my shoulders and I just started crying. I'm like,
Mhm.
oh, I really did. I felt that
Yeah.
that was my job to save
Yeah.
the world.
Yeah.
You know,
Me
that's a,
too.
that's a big responsibility.
It is.
How am I
It
going to do
is.
that?
Hmm.
Yeah,
And I love what the course, how it so beautifully, and my lesson today has to do with salvation, that salvation is our purpose, and
yeah,
salvation is forgiveness.
yes,
So the way that we save the world is by forgiving everyone around us,
yeah.
anyone and everyone. Like we are the saviors of the world
We
by
are
doing this practice of forgiveness.
saving ourselves. Yeah, totally. Forgiveness
Yeah.
and
Hmm.
and in the law of one. says the same thing. All these teachings say the same thing,
Yeah.
basically. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
That in
Hmm.
forgiveness lies the stoppage of the wheel of karma.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So beautiful.
it
Oh my,
is. It is.
yeah.
Well, Christina, thank you so much for being here.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, I really enjoyed talking with you. Do you have, I would like for you to share some words of wisdom for my audience here who are watching and just, you know, s-
Yeah.
let people know your wisdom in your younger years.
Okay. Wow. That feels like a big thing, but let's see. What is most alive? Let's see what wants to come through.
Okay.
Um, I feel like what wants to be said the most is that everything is in divine order. I know one of the things that helped me was a couple of verses. There are no mistakes in God's world, ever, ever. Period. That's it.
Right.
Um, so if there is anything that doesn't feel like it should be, I remember that there are no mistakes in God's world, ever. And I mean, if you listen to my story, it's like if you look through it with a certain lens on, you can just see a lot of pain, a lot of suffering, a lost soul who didn't know what she was doing or where to turn or anything like that. And the truth is, God has been with me, divinely orchestrating every step of the way. So when I thought I wasn't supposed to be raped, somehow I was, because it led to a series of events that now give me the opportunity and the capacity to empathize and have compassion and guide someone through what they may be experiencing because I've lived through it. And so it's all okay. It is really all okay. And something that I've taken from all these teachings, Course and Wave Mastery are the two biggest ones that have helped me to see this, is that God establishes our worth. Like, we are worthy.
Mhm.
There's nothing we can do to take away from our worth. Absolutely nothing. And there's nothing. This was the piece, as a perfectionist, as someone who felt like I needed to earn approval, there's nothing I can do to increase my worth either. Like, we just are. We are loved. We are loved. We are all one. Whatever I see in you is in me, and it's beautiful and perfect and divine. And just relax. Like, if I have one thing, actually, I asked this in my podcast, if you have one piece of wisdom that you could share with the younger version of yourself, what would it be? And one of my guests the other day asked me, and it was relax, just relax and trust and allow life to flow through you. Because when we're trying to control everything and we're trying to be the directors and we're trying to make everything happen, that's when it's hard. But when I really just let go, finally, and surrendered to it all, like, it has been effortless. Spirit is effortless. God is effortless. It is effortless. And so if it's hard, and I want to say what I mean by that, because getting my podcast launch was hard. Like, I didn't know how, right? I knew how to go on them, but I didn't know how to launch them. So I had to do some work, right? But around the entire thing, if you look at it, it moves with an ease and a grace that is so different from any other professional endeavor I've ever tried, because those were me trying to take my vision and make it happen. Whereas the shift is like God's already done it for me. I just have to let go and let him show me and receive the gifts that we've already been given, that we've already been given. And so anything you want, your heart's desire is meant to be fulfilled. It is meant to be fulfilled. That's how we create with God as God. It's through our heart's desires. So if you have a desire, it's meant to be fulfilled. And that's your guidance system to receiving the gifts that God has given you.
Beautiful.
I think that's all
But
for now.
I want more. I want more.
I could talk forever. So I think that's where I want to pause. I'm
You
not
just
sure.
have to come back.
I'll do that.
Yes. Yes. Nice.
Absolutely.
All
This has
right.
been so much fun.
It has. Thank you so much. Yeah. And we will be back. Christina will be back, right?
Yeah, I
Okay.
will for sure. Stay
Okay.
tuned.
Good, good. All right. Thank you everyone for watching, for being here. Please subscribe, like, and comment, and give us your thoughts about our conversation today. And don't worry, Christina will be back.
I'll see you soon.